Hey guys, I'm Ornella Hernandez with Web3 TV, and tonight I'm at the BG Trade Meetup. Joining me here, we have an attendee, Anas from Arts DAO. How are you tonight?
Very well. Thanks for having me today.
Thanks for joining. I wanted to learn a little bit more about you and why you came out tonight.
So I met Hakan, who's the CMO of BG Trade. We initially met on a Twitter space ages ago when I was initially building Arts DAO. He's building some interesting stuff with real-world assets and tokenizing, that kind of thing. I wanted to learn more about what's going on, so he asked me to come.
So you are big into the Dubai community here in crypto. So tell me what it's like. What do you think about the community in the first place, and what it's like to build events like this?
So I guess I've had the great privilege of leading one of the largest Web3 communities out here with Arts DAO. Not myself, I have my co-founders as well to thank for that. Zayan, Danosh, Rahim, Maria. My view is I'm very excited that here we have a huge community that continues to grow from a lot of folks moving in from Europe, from the United States, from Asia. There's a lot of interest in this industry. I think some stats, 30% of the UAE population owns crypto assets, 30%. That's one of the highest in the world. And the numbers continue to grow. There's over $600 billion in volume that's been traded in crypto over the last 2 years, over the last year. So for me, that's exciting, right? To be building Arts DAO out here with this kind of community. We have about 800 members at Arts DAO now, and a lot of that's because of good luck of these folks just coming here as a result.
And what is the mission behind Arts DAO?
Arts DAO exists to lead Web3 adoption in the Middle East. What we did initially, think of Arts DAO as three things. Number one, we're a private members club of 800 members. We raised about $1.5 million through an NFT sale. And with that money, we've collected and created our own digital art museum. So we own every major crypto NFT out there, crypto punks, a Bored Ape, everything, you name it, we have it. And so we have this $1 million kind of museum, which gives us a sort of clout. And in a sense, allows us to be a beacon for the internet culture Web3 space whenever folks anywhere around the world fly in. So if you have a punk or a Bored Ape or whatever flying into Dubai, it's very likely they'll know about us and want to connect with us in some way. The third thing is we're also a festival. So we hosted Arts DAO Fest early this year, but just 5 months ago. We had about 3,000 people attend. We had Ledger as a sponsor, a lot of other major NFT projects. So in a sense, like I said, our mission, leading the Web3 movement from an adoption perspective on a consumer basis and celebrating internet culture.
How would you describe the Web3 and internet culture?
Internet culture is a subset of the internet. So if you think about, you mentioned you're from Venezuela. You've got culture there. We just came back from Colombia. The Arts DAO community was there for almost 2 weeks, examining that culture. There's a local culture there, right? That culture is formed from history, from the people, from various different things. Now, the internet also has that, right? If you think about memes, if you think about Reddit, if you think about Twitter, there is a cultural element to it. The punks, the Bored Apes, these folks, they're part of that culture. The frog memes and things like that, they're also part of that. Pepe. So we celebrate that because there hasn't been anyone out here who understands that like we do. We're intimately connected on the Discords, on the Twitter spaces to those elements. And we seek to celebrate that because there are people out here who love that. You see that in the sneaker culture, you see that in the so-called drip culture, all of that, the hype culture as well. It's mixing together. We see this as a counterculture movement in many ways, where you're adopting things like crypto, an alternative asset class, where you have a younger generation living in a world where the boomers have not really passed on a lot of those benefits to us because we haven't been able to buy real estate like they have. There's a lot of counterculture ideas there, which in a larger subset sort of idea, internet culture celebrates these facets in different ways. And we at Arts DAO, we celebrate that as well.
Got it. All right. And then tell me a little bit more about what you were doing in Colombia.
Wow. So I feel we were very blessed to have this experience. So this trip happened from within Arts DAO. We have a member at Arts DAO. His name is Alvaro. He is from Colombia. And what he did was he created an experience for our members to fly to Colombia and connect with, across 3 cities, Bogota, Cartagena, and Medellin, the Web3 and art community across those regions. We were welcomed by government in Bogota, Cartagena, and Medellin. In many ways, we were there to meet the culture. What we did, in a way, was kind of expand what was possible for community, taking Web3 and travel and merging them together. It had never been done in the past. We'd never seen any NFT project deliver a travel experience. So this is a big step for us to take members of Arts DAO from Dubai and bring them to Colombia for 2 weeks on a sort of concerted trip across 3 cities.
And how would you compare the communities in the Middle East and in Latin America, and Colombia specifically?
What I found exciting was when I was there, I didn't get the chance to attend the crypto fest that was happening in Bogota, but there's a huge group of folks interested in crypto out there. I had the pleasure of meeting the former community manager for Binance in Latin America wide. He lives in Colombia. He showed me, you know, how he can buy things with pesos items with his Binance card. I met a lot of folks building in Web3. There was a coffee startup releasing NFTs. So I was inspired by the hardworking sort of mentality that the Latin American people had when I was there. So it made me very bullish. Latin America, I mean, Colombia is a population of 55 million people plus. It's a lot more than the UAE. So seeing that kind of interest, for me, you know, it's exciting. And I want to be back in Latin America real soon.
All right, I love it. So we're bullish then. Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for having me. See ya.